Hey everybody, welcome back to Video episode. Today I got a fun and very exciting episode for you guys this Sunday evening because you should be watching a Nintendo 64 Mr. FPGA testing video, but instead you're watching footage of Akuma Mortis Immortal running on my PC at home. This was long thought to be a very lost and almost non-existent arcade game, but thanks to Andy Geezer and the help of people on my Discord, we now have this file available and it has been popped up on archive.org for everyone to enjoy. This is one of those holy grails of arcade collecting. I've been looking for a board for forever, and I'm really not even sure if this actually saw retail release or if it was just in a beta location testing format, but now today this is available for anybody. Now do be aware, just like Castlevania the Arcade, when we did that, this is not 100% ready to control yet. It is being worked on in the background by people on my Discord server, so hopefully soon you'll be able to enjoy this game for no cost whatsoever in the comfort of your own home. But I absolutely love stuff like this, being able to bring you games that you've probably never heard of, or if you have heard of, never been able to play before, and now today at least you can get into the game, you can see the intro cutscenes, go through all of the soundtrack, and most importantly, Akuma is now preserved and available for everybody. Now, TechnoParrot recently added this to their playable list, but it is not available to download whatsoever, and that would be behind a Patreon wall as well. So now, thanks to Andy Geezer and people from my Discord, it's going to be available soon for everyone to enjoy with no strings attached. And you'll see here as we get in, it is a horror light gun game with a lot of Japanese horror elements. This is definitely just the Ring here in a different format. But I am absolutely so excited to be able to even see this running on my PC, and I hope you are too. This is pure gaming jank, and it is my favorite flavor of arcade gaming. You'll see here that there's 6 different levels, and unfortunately we can only access one, because while we do have a start button, a test button, and a trigger, the actual controls for the light gun cursor are not available yet. Some of the people from Demule Shooter are going to be working on this, and hopefully in the next week or so I'll be able to update this video with a tool set information so you can actually enjoy this game and play it. But I just love seeing all this happen right here, going through the attract screen, seeing this game actually render the graphics. And we are now in the game in and of itself. Obviously, you cannot shoot yet, but we're going to get there very soon. If you take a look at the left-hand side of the screen, there is a charge shot, which reminds me so much of Evil Knight from Konami running on the 3DO M2. But I've seen just a few screenshots of this game in existence and one article of somebody who had a cabinet they fixed and sold to somebody else. And this is probably the most footage of Akuma Mortis Immortal you're going to see until you can play the game at home. And the arcade is just littered with games that existed, no one ever got a chance to play, and they basically disappeared from the face of the earth. So this is one right here that we actually do have the ability to enjoy very shortly. And as you're in the intro screen here, you can see I can pop over to the test menu, and this is version B 1.07, so it's very likely it's a beta, and maybe the furthest the game ever went. We can go into the game settings, we can go into IO check, and we can navigate all of the different sound options to be able to basically set the game up however you want. And if you're not familiar with GameWax, they had a lot of published games with Taito, something like Haunted Museum here, another horror light gun game. It seems to be that GameWax really leaned into the horror light gun aesthetic, because we have Haunted Museum, we have Fear Frightland, Gaia Attack 4, all games that I've featured on the channel and said that are very fun and enjoyable. GameWax is definitely not going to rival somebody like Sega when it comes to the House of the Dead. They're definitely one tier below what Sega does, but they make some awesome games, and I love the fact that Akuma just goes straight horror without any of the comedy elements in it, because as good as Haunted Museum is, it is a light horror theme. This isn't the House of the Dead, this isn't Evil Knight, this is something a little bit lighter than that, where Akuma is just going for the brass ring of straight horror. You'll see here that we do have controls as far as the player 1 start and player 1 trigger, service, test, and coin are all good to go. But if we actually pop over into something like IO check in a little bit, we have no cursor, but you can flip the screen, you can change the difficulty. We have full control over the game minus the actual crosshair, but that's where Demule Shooter will come in very handy very soon. So hopefully, like I said, a week or so you'll have that. Now, this game's got an awesome track sequence and some amazing music in my opinion as well, so go ahead and listen for 45 seconds and I'll come back and tell you more about Akuma. Enjoy!
The evil legend is reborn. A long time ago, the beasts that massacred humans were sealed by a breakthrough, sealed into a holy talisman stone, the Circle of Light. But now, The egg hill concepts of a vicious spirit mortis has unsealed the demons. And now they are back. Infection, annihilation, reanimation. The evil must be sealed once more in the cell of light. But can you see past its rituals in darkness? Take your last breath.
Akuma Mortis Immortal.
I just cannot wait to be able to actually control this game, but remember, if you haven't seen the previous videos, we've done this for a few titles now. Castlevania the Arcade was preserved over on my Discord, made available for everyone to enjoy for free, and there were hooking applications written so that you could use a mouse, a Wiimote, or any sort of other input option to be able to control the entire game. That's what's going to be happening for Akuma as well. And just last month for Christmas, I released Gashaaaan with members of my Discord as well, and that was done the same way, hooking input controls on mouse or other input options to be able to control the game, just like a light gun game. Obviously, Castlevania got the most traction. I'm sure Akuma is going to be a little less known, obviously, but this is stuff that can be done, and we can do it and provide it for no cost whatsoever. And that's what I really love. Because while I can get into the game, and I love these janky graphics and that absolutely terrible comb over on that zombie there, kind of looks like Vladimir Putin actually. Leave me a comment down below and tell me who you think it is. I want to be able to actually shoot these zombies right here and see what the game has to offer next. And if you've never played Fear Frightland, the other game from GameWax, this is basically Akuma adjacent, except it involves clowns versus actual zombies. It seems like they basically took every single trope from a horror game and decided to make a light gun game out of it. Even some of the comedy horror, stuff like Gaia Attack 4, they just went hard at GameWax. They always loved to make these things, it seemed. They always wanted to show us something new and unique. It's definitely B-tier fun, but that's some of the best fun you can have in the arcades in my opinion, and I can't wait to see what else happens in Akuma. And one of the main reasons I'm so excited about this is this intro reminds me so much of Evil Knight on the Konami M2 from Konami themselves. It's one of my favorite light gun games of all time, and this intro here with the big eyes looking at you, all of the zombies running towards the screen, just kind of ingest what you're seeing right here, and then we're going to move over to the intro to Evil Knight on the 3DO M2. It kind of seems like it's basically the exact same intro with just slight changes, and that is why I'm so incredibly excited to play this game. It's exceedingly rare. People thought it was lost, but now it's available. If you want to pop over to Archive and just search Akuma Mortis Immortal, by the time this video goes live, it'll be available for you to take. And you will see that there is a game.exe.patched and a game.exe. Rename the .patch file to game.exe. It bypasses a few checks in the beginning so you can get into the game, just like stuff like Evil Knight. But Akuma Mortis Immortal is here. It's preserved, it's available for anybody to go and enjoy, and that is what I love doing. And big thanks again to Andy Geezer and everybody else that was involved in this project, helping me hunt for it, helping get people put in touch with other people that can do this sort of thing. And remember, sharing is caring, and I love being able to do this stuff for you. It's one of the reasons I started the channel, and I'm going to do it again the next opportunity I get. A big thanks to Lance Charleston. He's the one that makes this all possible. But I'll be back with more Akuma when we have it controlling. Until then, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.